Hi students, welcome to the physics class. In this class we are going to discuss about the problems on Coulomb's law, electric fields, and about the Gauss law's problems we are going to discuss. The first problem. ABC is a right angle triangle such that AB is equal to 3 centimeter, BC is equal to 4 centimeter, and AC is equal to 5 centimeter. Charges of magnitude 9 into 10 power minus 4 coulomb and minus 16 into 10 power minus 4 coulomb are placed at A and C respectively. Find the magnitude and direction of the resultant force experienced by a charge of 1 coulomb kept at B. So the given picture is the right angle triangle. ABC is a right angle triangle. All the sides measurements are given and the two charges 9 and minus 16 are kept at the A and C, and at B we have placed 1 coulomb charge. We have to find what is the magnitude and direction of the resultant force experienced by the plus 1 coulomb charge at B. Now look at the picture. At the point A, B, C. So at A, 9 into 10 power minus 5 coulomb. At B, 1 coulomb is there, positive charge. And at C, minus 60 into 10 power minus 5 coulomb. Between the point A and B, there is a force of repulsion because those two are the positively charged. And between the points A and C, there is a force of attraction. Okay. And between the point B and C, again there is a force of attraction. Okay. So the angle between angle at the B. So since it is a right angle, that is 90 degree. Okay. First find out the force exerted by A on B. F1 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught QA QC by AB square. So this is between the A and B. So use the Coulomb's law. Find out. Substituting the value, you will get 9 into 10 power 8 Newton. Next, force exerted by C on B. Okay, because we have to find the resultant force, okay, and the direction at the point B. So take the next force F2 between B and C. Substitute the charge at B and charge at C, and the distance between them is 4 centimeter square, that they converted 4 into 10 power minus 2 whole square. So we got F2 value also 9 into 10 power 8 Newton, and it is an attractive force. Now F1 and F2 are acting perpendicular to each other. You can see in a picture, they are acting perpendicular to each other. The resultant is given by F1 square plus F2 square. Okay, because here the theta becomes 90 degree, cos 90 becomes 0. So the next term like 2 F1 F2 cos theta will not come. That will become a 0. Since by looking at the two values above, F1 is equal to F2. So we can write it here, F is equal to root 2 F1. By substituting in the above equation, it will become root 2 F1. Now substitute the F1 value here. The root 2 value is 1.414. F1 is 9 into 10 power 8. Substitute, you will get the resultant force. Okay, the resultant force is 1.273 into 10 power 9 Newton. And the resultant acts at an angle 45 degree with BC, that you can see here. See, along the BC, the resultant line, the resultant with 45 degree. Now the second problem. ABC is an equilateral triangle of side 3 centimeter. Charges of magnitude plus 5 nanocoulomb and plus 5 nanocoulomb are placed at the corners A and B. Find the magnitude of the force experienced by a charge of 1 coulomb placed at C. It is again an equilateral triangle here. ABC and sides are 3 centimeter. There are two charges are given at the point A and B. We have to find the resultant force at the point C, and the C is having a charge 1 coulomb. Look at the picture. Plus 5 nanocoulomb, plus 5 nanocoulomb, and there is a 1 coulomb. Okay, and you can see there are opposite forces there. That is a F1, and here is an F2. The resultant goes in between. Okay, and they given the measurements here, that is a 3 centimeter. 3 centimeter is a value for each side in a equilateral triangle. Now first find out the force exerted by A on C. From the A on C. Okay, that means between the plus 5 and the 1 coulomb. F1 is equal to, same formula you use, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught QA QC by AC square. Substitute the value, find out the F1, and it is the repulsion along AC because both are positively charged. And next, force exerted by B on C. Again, you will get the same answer because the values are same, 5 and 1. Okay, you will get the F2 also same. So we got F1 and F2 both are same. And F1 and F2 are acting at an angle 60 degree. Okay, let R be the resultant. Observe the picture. Because here each angle in an equilateral triangle is 60 degree. So inside here it comes as a 60 degree. You can see that now 60 degree. The inside angle is inside the equilateral triangle is 60 degree. So vertically opposite angles are equal. So the resultant also having the angle 60 degree. Now use the formula of resultant force. F1 square F2 square 2 F1 F2 cos theta. Here the theta becomes 60 degree. And by the values F1 is equal to F2. Substitute that. And the resultant force is root 3 F1. So this formula we already discussed, the resultant force, okay, which is acting from equal charges at any 2 points in an equilateral triangle, that you can directly write here root 3 F1. Okay, now we found the F1 value, so substitute that F1 value there and find out the resultant force. That we got 8.66 into 10 power 4 Newton, which is perpendicular to AB. You can observe the resultant direction, it goes in between, okay, and that line is exactly normal to the line AB. There is a dotted line, you can see. Yeah, this is the answer for the question. The next problem, 2-point charges plus 9 into 10 power minus 8 coulomb minus 9 into 10 power minus 8 coulomb are placed 0.5 meter apart in air. Find the magnitude of resultant force experienced by a charge of 1 coulomb at a point located 0.5 meter from either charge. Okay, here they are not telling about what type of triangle it is, whether the right angle triangle or the equilateral. Okay, first you draw the diagram, then you will come to know the picture. See in this diagram, at the point A, at the point B, plus 9 and minus 9 into 10 power minus 8 coulomb is located, and 0.5 meter is the distance between them, and it is kept in air, and we are placing a one new charge, that is a 1 coulomb at the point C, which are equally distant from either charge, that is 0.5 meter. So it forms a equilateral triangle again. Okay, so now between the point A and C there is a repulsion force. Between the point B and C, the charges B and C, there is a force of attraction, that is an F2. And in between the forces F1 and F2 there is a resultant, you can see, which is acting with an angle 120 degree. Okay, it is an exterior angle there. The inside angle is 60 degree, so the remaining angle at the exterior part will become 120 degree. Yeah, if you understand the diagram, then it is easy to solve the numerical. First find out the F1, then find out the F2, then find the resultant force. Yeah, this is the force one between the point A and C. Substitute the values. The F1 value you will get 3.24 into 10 power 3 Newton. And here is a repulsion force which acts along the AC in the diagram. And the force exerted by B on C, okay, that is a F2. As I told you, there is a force of attraction. You will get the same answer because the magnitudes, the numbers are same here. The QB and QC is similar to QA and QC value. You will get the same answer, but here the force is acting along CB. Now after the F1 and F2, find out the resultant by using the formula F1 square F2 square 2 F1 F2 cos theta, but the theta here is 120 degree. There is the resultant angle, and here is F1 is equal to F2, and cos 120 degree is nothing but minus 1 by 2. 2 will get cancelled, then you will get only F1 square. R becomes root F1 square. Okay, then that is square and square root get cancelled, R is equal to F1. So the resultant also will come same value. Okay, R is equal to 3.24 into 10 power 3 Newton. So F1, F2 and the resultant all are same, and this resultant acting parallel to the AB. You can check in the picture, the resultant line is parallel to the AB. Yeah, the next problem, charges equal to Q1 are placed at two diagonally opposite corners of a square. They given the picture now, that is a square. Now diagonally opposite we are placing the q1, and charges equal to minus q2 are placed at the remaining corners, means other diagonal. Okay, in opposite corners we are placing minus q2. If the resultant force on q2 is 0, then show that q2 is equal to minus 2 root 2 q1. Yeah, this we have to prove. It's quite interesting problem it is. Yeah, let's look at the picture. You can see in a picture, along the diagonals you observe minus q2, and opposite to that corner it is minus q2 only, and along the AC you can observe there is a plus q1 and plus q1. So diagonally opposite, so we are placing the like charges there. Okay, so since there are like charges, there is a repulsion. So you can see the F2 which is going away because of the repulsion. And here between the point A and D and between the point D and C in the picture, there is an attractive forces. You can see in the picture that is F1 and F3. Okay, attracting forces. Between these F1 and F3, there is a resultant line. Okay, there is a resultant force. The resultant is due to F1 and F3. Now we have to find out that resultant force. Okay, and the square, the shape is square, so let the side of the square be A, let q1 be positive and q2 be negative. Yeah, it is observed in the picture. Force on D due to A from the first charge. Force on D due to A means that is a F1. So by using the Coulomb's law we can give this formula, and AD square is nothing but the A square, that is the side of the square, and this is a force of attraction along dA. And force on D due to B, from the B to the D, observe the force line is nothing but the diagonal it is. So now we have to find the diagonal BD by using the Pythagoras theorem. Okay, you can take the Pythagoras theorem for either any one of the triangle. So I am taking the triangle here ADB. So in the ADB, the BD becomes AB square plus BD square, means A square plus A square. Okay, you will get root 2A. The BD value as a root 2A you will get. So by using Pythagoras theorem for the triangle ADB, we will get this picture. And here the value is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q2 square by root 2a the whole square. So square and square root get cancelled, you got 2a square there. And this is a repulsion force along the diagonal BD. Okay, so what we found here, we found the F2 here. Now the next force, find out the F3, force on D due to C. Okay, see in a picture, force on D due to C. So between minus q2 and the plus q1, and the side is A only, that is the distance. So use the formula, you will get the formula q1 q2 by A square, that is a F3. You can see, you can compare all the F1, F2 and F3. Your F1 and F3, they act at right angles. Okay, they are equal and they act at right angles. Let the resultant of F1 and F3 is R. Okay, you can see in a picture the angle between F1 and F3, the inside angle, the each corners of a square is 90 degree we know. So inside angle is also 90 degrees. So the resultant acting along in between the F1 and F3 is 90 degree. Okay, yeah. So resultant is F1 square plus F3 square. In the next they written F3 as a F1 because both are equal. So root 2 F1. So this acts along dB, means along the resultant. Now F2 and R act in the same line but in opposite direction. F2, you can see in a picture, F2 and R both are acting along the same line but they are in opposite direction. Observe the picture, F2 and F are in opposite direction. Yeah, therefore F2 is equal to R. Why the F2 is equal to R? Because the resultant force on them must be like a 0. Is a 0 means, so both the forces on each direction should be equal, right? Yeah, the resultant R is equal to root 2 times the F1. Substitute the value there and substitute the value of F2, root 2 into F1. Now solve for the Q2. both the side 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught cancels, and a square get cancelled. So then you will get your q2 is equal to 2 root 2 times the q1. Okay, since q2 and q1 have opposite signs, so we can write q2 is equal to minus 2 root 2 times the q1. So bit lengthy but very interesting and very important problem it is. Okay, if you can understand this problem, so you can understand many several cases based on these square shapes. Yeah, the next problem, point charges plus 2 coulomb and minus 2 nanocoulomb are placed at the points 3 comma 4 meter and minus 3 comma 4 meter in the xy plane. Okay, you can observe points they given plus 3 and plus 4, it is in first quadrant of the plane, and minus 3 and plus 4, it is in the second quadrant of the plane, right? Find the force experienced by a charge 2 coulomb placed at the origin. We are placing the 2 coulomb at the origin and we have to find the net force on it. All the coordinate distances are in meter, means 3 comma 4 are in meter, minus 3 comma 4 also in meter. Yeah, now I will explain the picture. So here you can observe the minus 2 nanocoulombs, okay, are the both the sides here in the both the quadrants, but the plus 2 coulomb is at the origin. Okay, and in the first quadrant, that means at the distance 3 comma 4, the minus 2 nanocoulomb is placed at the point A. You can see here the 3 comma 4 means at the x-axis it is 3 meter, at the y-axis, along the y-axis it is plus 4 meter. And similarly at the next quadrant, minus 3 comma 4, look at the point B, there the another minus 2 nanocoulomb is placed, minus 3 meter along the x-axis and 4 meter plus 4 meter along the y-axis it is placed. So here the forces between them, observe the point A and O, plus 2 and minus 2, there is a force of attraction, that is F1. So and the F2 is a force of attraction between the point O and B. Okay, and in between them there is a resultant R. Okay, you can see the line, the resultant force is acting in between the F1 and F2, the R vertically straight. So along that you can resolve the F1 along the horizontal as a F1 cos theta. You can see in the x-axis line F1 cos theta along the horizontal and F1 sin theta along the vertical, right? These are the resolution of the vector concept for the F1. The similarly F2 can also be resolved along horizontal F2 cos theta and F2 sin theta, right? So here you can observe that along this vertical straight line there are three components now. One is F1 sin theta, F2 sin theta and the resultant. All these three are along vertical. Okay, yeah, that means the resultant will become F1 sin theta plus F2 sin theta. Now we have to find what is the F1 and F2. F1 is nothing but the force between plus 2 coulomb and the minus 2 nanocoulomb, and F2 is the force between plus 2 and the minus 2. Since both the values are same, plus 2 and minus 2 on both the side, you will get the same answer for the F1 and F2. Let's see here. See, force exerted by A on O, F1. So substitute the value. 1 is in nanocoulomb, 2 into minus 10 power minus 9. There is a minus 2, but here we are using magnitude of the charges, so we are writing just it as a plus. Plus 2 into 10 power minus 9 into 2. That is a 2 coulomb placed at the origin. And the distance between them is 5 square. Observe in the picture how the 5 square comes there. Okay, by using the Pythagoras theorem in the triangle, in any one of the triangle, okay, you can take the triangle here, the AO, and along the x-axis here towards the F1 cos theta, there 3 square and 4 square. Okay, so that gives a 5 square, that is 25. It's nothing but 5 meter. By using the Pythagoras theorem we can find out it has a 5 meter. So substitute that value, we'll get the F1, and similarly the next force F2 also comes same. Okay, Yeah, the resolution concept I told, resolve f1 and f2 into two components, f1 cos theta, f2 cos theta cancels each other, and f1 sin theta, f2 sin theta get added up. Observe in the picture, f1 cos theta, f2 cos theta cancel each other because both are in opposite direction, and f1 sin theta and f2 sin theta get added up because these two are in same direction. I will show you in a picture. Observe, f1 cos theta, f2 cos theta opposite direction, okay, with equal effect, hence it get cancelled. But f1 sin theta, f2 sin theta get added up like this. Resultant r is equal to f1 sin theta, f2 sin theta. Since from the values f1 is equal to f2, substitute the value there. R is equal to 2 f1 sin theta, okay, and 2 into f1 value we know that 1.44 Newton, and sin theta 4 by 5 is there, okay. This is taken directly from the any one of the triangle here, okay, because sin theta is opposite by the hypotenuse. For the theta, the opposite side is 4 meter and the hypotenuse is 5. So nothing to worry about the angle here. Sin theta you can taken from the diagram, okay, that is opposite by the hypotenuse 4 by 5. Now solve it, you will get the resultant, that is 2.3 Newton. So the resultant force is acting along the plus y axis, positive y axis direction, right? So that is along the y axis. Yeah, till here we discussed about the numericals of electrical forces by using the Coulomb's law. Now let's look at the problems based on electric field. Okay, we know the basic electric field formula, E is equal to F by Q and E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. By using that formulas, we can discuss some more problems now. Yeah, look at the problem on the electric field. It is calculate the intensity of electric field at a point of 3 centimeter. They given the distance 3 centimeter from a point charge of 5 microcoulomb, means 5 into 10 power minus 6 coulomb. Observe, this is the formula we used. E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. Electric field formula 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 9 into 10 power 9, and the Q value they given 5 into 10 power minus 6, 5 microcoulomb, divided by the distance is 3 centimeter, convert into 10 power minus 2 the whole square. If you solve, you will get this value 5 into 10 power 7 Newton per coulomb. It's a very simple problem it is. Now the next problem, 2 point charges of 2 into 10 power minus 7 coulomb and 1 into 10 power minus 7 coulomb are placed 0.01 meter apart in vacuum. What is the magnitude of electric field produced by either charge at the position of the other? Okay, so just we have to find the two electric fields here, no need to find the resultant. So it's a very easiest problem here. Check the picture, there are 2 points A and B. One is a 2 into 10 power minus 7 and one more is a 1 into 10 power minus 7 coulomb. So due to the charge, the intensity at B due to A, so we can take it as a EA. Okay, that is the first electric field, EA, you can see in a picture. Okay, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught QA by AB square. QA means the charge located at A point, and AB the distance is given, okay, 0.01 meter. So we can write it as a 1 into 10 power minus 2, 10 power minus 2 the whole square, they written here directly. So solve it, find out the EA, that is the electric field due to the charge present at A, hence it is EA. Next, find out the electric field due to the charge present at B, that is EB. Okay, only the charge differ here, okay, charge value 9 into 10 power 9 into 1 into 10 power minus 7 divided by the same distance, okay, you will get 9 into 10 power 6. So this is the EA and EB. They didn't ask the resultant. If they ask the resultant, you can subtract the highest value minus the lowest. So that value gives the resultant value. Yeah, the next problem. Two charges of magnitude plus 9 nanocoulomb and plus 4 nanocoulomb are placed at the corners A and C of a right angle triangle ABC, in which AB 3 meter, BC 4 meter and CA 5 meter. Find the magnitude and direction of the resultant electric intensity at the corner B. So it's an right angle triangle problem. We already solved it for the Coulomb's force. Here also it's same type, but we are solving for an electric field. There we solved for the force, but here we are solving for an electric field intensity. Okay, yeah. Look at the diagram. plus 9 microcoulomb plus 16 microcoulomb. Okay, yeah, make a small correction in the question. It should be 16 nanocoulomb plus 16 nanocoulomb, because in the diagram they taken here the plus 16. Okay, so nanocoulomb it is, it's not the micros, nano. Yeah, those two values are in nanocoulomb. First find out the EA value and then find out the EC value in the diagram. So from these two charges at the point P, you can see here there is an electric field EA due to the charge plus 9 nanocoulomb, and the electric field due to the point C plus 16 nanocoulomb is EC. In between that there is a resultant. The resultant acts along the angle 90 degree, because the angle B is a right angle triangle, so vertically opposite angles are equal, so it acts with a total angle of 90 degree. First find out the EA by using the general formula, and the distance is 3 meter, so you will get the 9 Newton per coulomb. And similarly find out the EC also. EC, now we have to use the charge plus 16 in the formula. 9 into 10 power 9, 16 into 10 power minus 9, nano means 10 power minus 9, divided by the distance is 4 square. This 16 and the 4 square get cancelled, you will get 9 Newton per coulomb only. So EA and EC both are having the same values. Now observe, to find out the resultant, so this is the formula, same formula like EA square EC square, 2 EA square EC square into cos theta. Because theta is 90 degree here, the cos 90 becomes 0. We are getting only this value. Again the resultant value we get 9 square plus 9 square square root. After solving 9 root 2 you will get. Solve it, resultant will be 12.73 Newton per coulomb. Okay, and this resultant value, this resultant force is the resultant electric field is inclined to both EA and EC at 45 degree. You can see in a picture. With respect to EC it is 45 degree, with respect to EA it is 45 degree. Totally it is 90 degree, the resultant angle. Now the next problem. ABC is a right angle triangle with AB is equal to 0.4 meter, BC is equal to 0.3 meter, CA is equal to 0.5 meter. You can look at in a picture. Point charges of magnitude plus 5 microcoulomb and plus 3 microcoulomb are placed at A and B respectively. Okay. Find the resultant electric intensity at the C. At the point C, we have to find the resultant electric field intensity. Okay. And that AC value is given, that is 0.5 meter. All the sides measurements are given. Yes. First find out the electric field E1, okay, at C, that is due to A, that is having a plus 5 microcoulomb, right? Use the formula 9 into 10 power 9, 5 into 10 power minus 6 divided by the distances AC, that is 0.5. So substitute the value 0.5 square, find out the E1 value. Next similarly find out the E2, and here the charge is 3 microcoulomb and the distance is 0.3 meter, so substitute and it becomes E2, which acts along BC. After finding the E1 and E2, we have to find the resultant electric field. So use the resultant electric field formula, E1 square E2 square 2 E1 E2 cos theta. Substitute the values and cos theta. So we have to find the theta, cos theta value. We can get it directly from the triangle what they given, no need to worry about the theta. So observe here, the cos theta is adjacent by the hypotenuse. Adjacent is 0.3 meter, hypotenuse is 0.5 meter. So take the cos theta as 0.3 by 0.5, it is 0.6. So now substitute the values, calculate the resultant. Okay, so 10 power 10 you will get under the root, so that will come out of the root. The value is 10 power 5 root 18.72, and the total value is 4.33 into 10 power 5 Newton per coulomb. Yeah, it's very easy. Yeah, the next problem. 2 point charges Q1 and Q2 of 10 power minus 8 coulomb and minus 10 power minus 8 coulomb respectively are placed 0.1 meter apart. Calculate the electric fields EA, EB and EC at the points A, B and C respectively. Observe in a picture. So we can see the Q1 and Q2. Q1 is 10 power minus 8 coulomb and Q2 is minus 10 power minus 8 coulomb. So here one is a positive charge and another is a negative charge. We know that for a positive charges the electric field lines of forces are directed outward radially, and for negative charges the electric field lines are directed inward towards the charges. Okay, and now these two charges placed at a distance of 0.1 meter. We have to find the electric fields at EA, EB, that at the point ABC, that is EA, EB, EC we should find. You can see the marks. The A is in between the charge Q1 and Q2 along its axial line, right? And the B is next to the charge 1. It is also along the axial line. And the point C, okay, it's at the top of the triangle. And each side is 0.1 meter, 0.1 meter you can see. So this is a equilateral triangle. Yeah, now we have to find these three electric fields. First one, to find out EA, the electric field at the point A. Look at the picture. At the point A you can see the two electric fields E1 and E2 because of the directional property of the electric field. For positive charge, electric field E1, that is outward for a positive, and E2 is the electric field for the negative charge, that is going towards the charge. So here the E1 and E2 both are in same direction. Okay, when they are in same direction we can add them, right? So the net electric field EA is equal to E1 plus E2. Now first find out the E1 by using the formula 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 by MA square. Okay, MA square. So that is the distance from M to the A. A is at the middle, right? You can see the total distance is 0.1 meter, then half of it becomes 0.05. Yeah, use that formula 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 9 into 10 power 9 into Q1, that is a plus, into 10 into 10 power minus 8, 0.05. We can write it as a 5 into 10 power minus 2 the whole square. Solve it, find out the E1. You will get 3.6 into 10 power 4. So this is acts along MA. Next find out the E2. Okay, the E2 is again a distance of AN square, it is, right, from the minus charge to till the center, that is till the A. E2 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 by AN square. Yeah, in the formula we are using the magnitude of these charges, so no need to mention Q2 as a minus 10 into 10 power minus 8, because minus 10 the magnitude becomes positive only. And the distance is same again. AN means again half of the distance, 0.05, that is 5 into 10 power minus 2. You will get the same answer as a E1. So E1 and E2 we got the same answer. Now the resultant we have to find. The resultant will be EA is equal to E1 plus E2 is equal to 2E1, right, because E1 and E2 both are equal. Hence it becomes 2E1. 2 into, next step, 2 into E1. E1 value, the previous value E1 or E2 both are same, no? 3.6 into 10 power 4, you substitute and multiply it with the 2. Then EA becomes 7.2 into 10 power 4. That acts along AN. Yes, both are acting with the direction towards AN. That is the resultant direction. Next, to find out EB, look at the picture. We have to find the resultant field at the B. The B is very closest to the charge Q1, but it is little far from the charge Q2. As we know that the electric field obeys inverse square law. Okay, that means electric field inversely proportional to the distance. As the distance increases, the electric field decreases. So yeah, for the Q2 charge, the distance is more. It is like 0.1 plus 0.05. So it takes a less value comparative to Q1 electric field. But the Q1 is having a very closest distance for the B, right? From this, what we get the electric field that is more than compared to the electric field from the Q2. Yeah, observe the picture. Here in this picture, this is the point B, Q1 and Q2. You can see the E3 there, which is going outward, that is from the charge Q1. And there is a one more arrow mark. Okay, you can take it as a E4. The picture E4 and E3 are in opposite direction. Okay, first we have to find the E3 and then find out the E4, then subtract the both because both are in opposite direction. Now this is the E3, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 by Bm square. So because the Q1 is very closer to the B, the distance become 0.05, that we converted into centimeter, 5 into 10 power minus 2. Okay, we got the value 0.36 into 10 power 5. Similarly, find the E4. For the E4, the distance varies, 0.15 meter it becomes. So we are converting into 10 power minus 2. So we get 0.04 into 10 power 5. You can see the values here, 0.36 and is the greater, and E4 the 0.04 is lesser. Obviously the electric field is inversely proportional with the distance. As the distance increases, electric field value has to take a lesser value. Okay, and these E3 and E4 act in the same line but in opposite direction, right? You can see in a picture, E3 and E4 act along the same line but in opposite direction. Yeah, this is the value for E3 and E4. Now to find out the EB, to find out the resultant, just subtract it, you will get the EB value. Next, to find out the EC, means electric field at the point C. Okay, the point C is located at 0.1 meter from both the charges, and E5 is the electric field from the charge 1, and E6 is the electric field from the negative charge E6 Q2. Okay, that is towards the Q2 because it is negative charge, and E5 is away the Q1 because it is positively charged. Between E5 and E6 you can see the EC, that is the resultant electric field of E5 and E6, and the resultant angle is 120 degree because it is a equilateral triangle here. All the sides are equal, so the inside angle becomes 60 degree, so the external angle becomes 120 degree. So now find out the E5 value by using this formula, mc square, the point 1 we taken as a 10 power minus 1 here, and find out the E5. The same way find out the E6 also. You will get the E6 also the same value because the charge magnitudes are same on both the sides. So E5 and E6 are same and they are acting with an angle of 120 degree. Okay, so the resultant electric field formula, we know this. Okay, substitute in this formula. There is a cos theta, put cos 120. Cos 120 value is minus 1 by 2. After substitution we get in this formula, okay, since E5 is equal to E6 and cos 120 is a minus 1 by 2, here 2 and 2 will get cancelled and you will get EC as a E5, or EC will be equal to E6. Okay, so we get the same answer as a E5. So that is the resultant electric field, 9 into 10 power 3 Newton per Coulomb.